Hey there guitar players, it's Anthony here at Cutting Edge Guitar, welcoming you to another beginners live session. In tonight's session I want to build upon what we talked about last week. We just started building in heavy metal playing. So for anyone who hasn't been following along with what I've been doing here, I started doing some live streams for my members over at Cutting Edge Guitar, and I thought that would be quite a nice thing to bring across to YouTube for my audience here. How this session is going to run, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few examples in this particular genre. We're looking at heavy metal at the moment, and once I've done the stuff that I'll do for YouTube here, I'm going to carry on the video, and there'll be some extra stuff that is specifically for my members only over at Cutting Edge Guitar. So if you want to find out more about that stuff, go to the links that are in the channel description and you'll see what's going on there. Okay, let's get right into today's session. So what we're going to be talking about in today's lesson, we're going to add a new note and a new type of chord actually today. So in last week's session we looked at open position power chords. What we're going to do today is look at a movable position power chord, okay? So we're going to be looking at playing an F sharp power chord. If we combine F sharp with something like our open E power chord, we'll be able to play a couple of simple riffs along with a drum backing, and we'll get some pretty cool sounds out of our guitars. If you've not joined me here before, do make sure that you've got your guitar for these sessions so that you can play along with me and actually learn something and get something out of the playing side of it. So let's talk first and foremost about how to do our F sharp power chord. So what I want you to do is I want you to put your first finger at the 2nd fret on your 6th string, and then I want you to put your 3rd finger at the 4th fret on your 5th string. Now when you're playing those two notes together, they will create the sound of an F sharp power chord. Now this is a movable position power chord, so we can change the key of it by moving it down the fretboard or up the fretboard, and we can even move this to different strings. So the power chords that we looked at last week, these are only for open positions. By that I mean where I've got an open string that's ringing. So with this one we can play, we can move the key, change the key by moving it around all over the place. Now you'll find bands like Nirvana, Metallica, Green Day, The Offspring, or anyone who plays rock, but like Black Sabbath, like all sorts of hard rock bands, heavy metal bands all the world over, they all use power chords. Now this is all in standard tuning as well. There's lots of bands out there that down tune. When they down tune, they do things that are quite different to this, and obviously a fair amount of research online will show you all of that stuff anyway. But this is in a standard tuning. This shape here that we're using is going to give you lots and lots of different heavy sounds. Now, something else that we haven't talked about in these sessions up to now is sharps. So all of the notes that we've used so far, we've had E, F, G, A, B, C, D, a high E, we've perhaps even had a G up to this point, but everything has been all notes from something called the C major scale, so we've had no sharp or flat notes. Now let's explain what this sharp means and in this F sharp chord and what's going on here. So for anyone who does come over to Cutting Edge Guitar and is watching this video later on, when you're looking at tablature or music notation, you may see a sign that looks a little bit like a hashtag placed in front of the notation. So when you see that sign placed in front of the note, that means that the note is played 1 fret higher than the standard pitch. So an F note is, as we know, because we've done this so far in these sessions, is being played at the 1st fret on our 6th string. If I want to then play an F sharp, okay, what I do is I move that note 1 fret forward, so it's now played at the 2nd fret. Now, that would be if I was just playing the single notes. For us, what I want to do today is try and use this power chord. Okay. So what I want to do to try and get us playing the power chord I want to... Sorry, just moving some notes around on my fretboard on my computer. So what I want to do is get us playing a very, very basic riff using this F sharp note, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to play our E power chord for 2 beats, and then we're going to go into our F sharp, and then we're going to repeat. And that will be a nice little exercise for us to start playing with the drums. So I'm going to be using a drum track like this. And what we're going to do, we're just going to go from that E power chord to the F sharp. And 1, 2, 3, 4. E, F sharp. 2 beats on each power chord. Keep it going. And stop. So if you're watching this video, or you're watching the rerun, or you're watching the stream or whatever, when you're doing this, if you're thinking, oh, I can't keep up with this, I need to practice the power chord more, make sure that you pause the video so that you can sit and just go, right, I'm going to practice going from my E into that F sharp. Once you've got that down, then you'll be able to play it with the play along element with the drums. So just sit there, just working like that with the drums. That's a really, really good exercise to sit and do. Now, what I want to do is I want to tag onto the end of that 2 different bars. So we're going to play E, F sharp 3 times, and then to a sustained E chord. So the whole riff, I want to do 2 beats on E, 2 beats on F sharp, back to E, F sharp, and then we're going to go E, F sharp 3 times, and then the open E power chord. Let's have a listen to that with the drum track. So once you've had a listen, I then want to get you guys playing along. So it sounds like this: 3, 4, E, F sharp, E, F sharp, E, F sharp, E. And again, so. Okay, before we get into just playing along with this, you may be thinking, how am I getting a sound that's not hearing all of those open strings? Now, there's a number of different things at play with this. When I'm playing the F sharp note on my low E string, I'm getting this part of my finger to lay against the A, D, G, B and E strings to mute that off. So try and get it so that your finger is muting the strings there. And then the same thing's happening on the E, except what I'm doing here, I'm fretting the A string, so 2nd fret on my A string, enough to allow that open E to ring, and then I'm muting everything so that this part of my finger here is touching those other strings. So as I strum through all 6, that's the only sounds that I'm hearing, is those 2 notes that make up my power chord. That is something that you absolutely want to work on, and also as well, like I say, if you want more help with that sort of stuff, that's all over at the Cutting Edge Guitar platform, of which I'll talk to you a little bit more later. But what I want to do now, I want to get into the play along. So we're just going to put this drum track on and we want to play that riff to the track. So again, if at this point you need to pause the video, make sure you've got the riff down so you can play along with me, please do. Obviously, if you're already able to play it, then when I count us in, we'll go for it, okay? Here we go. And a 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And stop. One more time. Count us in. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that's the first riff that I want to get you playing today, guys. What we're going to do now, we're going to look at moving into a slightly different version of the same thing. What we're going to do on our downbeat, the powerful beat of the bar, which we talked about in previous lessons, don't forget that. We're going to start on the F sharp, and I'm just going to go F sharp, E, 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 F sharp, E, 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 F sharp, E, E, E. And then the very last one, I'm just going to let it ring out for 4 beats. Sounds like this to the drums. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then what we'll do is we'll repeat. So again, if you need to practice this at this point, please do. So you'll just be playing F sharp, E, E. Okay, so you just practice literally as that. And then we'll go from there. So if you need to pause the video, please do. Get it down. Once you've got it down, then what you want to do is play along with this section. And what I'm going to do at the end, once that E is left ringing, 2, 3, 4, I'll just count us back in and then we can just go for it, play along. I will just do that until I've had enough, I think. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let it ring, 2, 3, and again. And let it ring, 2, 3, 4. And again, 3, 4. Guys, we've got one more example to have a look at today. So what we're going to do, we're going to add some rests in there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to look at moving our power chord that we have up here. So what we're going to do, our movable power chord shape, we're going to change it to the key of G. So although we've played G notes in this in these live streams up to now, we've not played power chords here. So what we'll be doing is we're going to move that shape that we've had at F sharp, we're going to move it up 1 fret to the 3rd fret. And we're going to slide, this is how you change key. What we're going to do is slide our hand like a unit, literally like this, from the 3rd fret down to the 2nd fret. Okay, so that's a good exercise to practice right now, is if we just practice going 3, 2, 0, 3, 2, 0. So once you've got this down, again, if you need to pause the video and practice this stuff, please do. But what you want to do is practice going 3, 2, 0. And again, 3, 2, 0. Let's do that with the drums if we can. So that's going to sound like this. So when I count us in, let's try and do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's the exercise that you want to do for still working on this. Now what I'm going to do is talk you through the riff that I want us to try and play. So what we're going to do is we're going to play an E power chord, let it ring for 2 beats, and then rest for 2 beats. So if you haven't been doing these sessions with me up to this point, remember the resting, we want to mute the strings at this end and this end by holding the strings mute like this, and then using this part of the right hand, or the picking hand at least, to be on the bridge to get them muted up. Okay, we're then going to go G to F sharp, 2 beats rest again, back to our E, and then what we're going to do is we're going to play our F sharp E. So E for 2 beats, 2 beats rest, G into F sharp, 2 beats rest, E, 2 beats rest, F sharp E. Like I always say on these sessions, if you need to pause the video at this point, please do. But if you are able, here is what it sounds like against the drum track. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we get E2, rest, rest, F sharp, rest, rest, E, 3, 4, F sharp, E. Okay, again, have a little practice if you need to. If you are comfortable, and when you are comfortable, you can play this part of the video, and what we're going to do is play along. Okay, are you ready, guys? Want to count us in? And a 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. Repeat. One more time. Okay. Right, YouTubers, that is everything for this particular session. What I am going to do at this point is I am going to carry the session on for my members over at Cutting Edge Guitar. This will be an exclusive part of this lesson that is literally for my standard or above members over at the platform. You can find the links in the description, or you can go to the channel links and you'll find a link straight over to Cutting Edge Guitar there. Basically, that is an online platform that I've built that has courses and so much educational material there. It's actually ridiculous how much stuff that I've put on there right now. But what I will do with these live sessions, I'll post them specifically into the community so that you can see the lesson up to this point and the extra stuff that I'm going to talk about right now. Okay, thank you very much, YouTube. I will see you in another stream sometime soon.